Hello and welcome to BYJU'S IAS. We are joined by two very special people today. Special not only because they have cleared the Civil Services Examination 2019, but special because they were working with us till August 2020. And they both were BYJU'S IAS mentors. So for those who don't know how this mentorship program works, let me briefly tell you about that before we start interacting with our guests today. We have two programs that we offer civil services aspirants. One is a tablet learning program, and the other is an online classroom, basically a live class where we teach the aspirants live. But integral to our preparation process is our mentor. So, any student who will encounter some doubts, some confusions, they get in touch with our mentors, and these mentors guide them, help them, and clarify all the doubts that may arise during their preparation process. And both Ayush Vikram Singh and Bharath Kumar, they have been instrumental in guiding hundreds of aspirants clear the civil services examination. And in 2019, they cleared this exam themselves. Thank you for joining us, Bharat and Ayush. Welcome to
Thank you,
BYJU'S
sir.
IAS. Now,
Thank you,
this
sir.
time as aspirants who have cleared this exam. Ayush, starting from you, what was your preparation process? When did you decide to write this exam?
Sir, it was in 2014. I passed out from my college. So I met like rank 167th was there. Sachin Sharma sir was there. So he guided me that you should start preparing for this exam. Then from my father's side also, he insisted me to start preparing for this exam. Then I left my job and started like joined a coaching in Delhi. And from there onwards, I started my preparation. But again, I used to say guidance is very important for this exam. And in that thing, at that time, I was uh, I was having that. I used to say first timers ego that you can do whatever you want to do in first time. So I was like reading everything and like whatever I was coming across. So I had that perception that UPSC is all about knowledge. So I was like, read everything, whatever you can. I managed to clear prelims at that time, but again failed miserably in mains. And then say next year also I thought ki something must have like was wrong with my mains preparation. Again, without any guidance, I again went like the same way. Again failed miserably in my mains exams. In third attempt, then I realized that one person was there. He told me that he has cleared four interviews. Then he told me something that how to prepare for this exam. Then in my third attempt I started realizing whatever he told me as such. Then I started followed all like whatever he told me at that time. And after third attempt I started getting some results. I managed to qualify for IFOS interview, forest services interview. In my fourth attempt, then I again qualified for UPSC interview, and this time I managed to clear this time in 2019 as such.
What specific did he tell you that changed
Sir,
the course?
it's like UPSC is not about knowledge as such. What we think that it's all about knowledge, gaining knowledge. So mains, I was mostly focusing on collecting information, that whatever like I should read this one, that one. I was not focusing on answer writing and not answering to the demands of the question. What question is asking us? So I started focusing on my answer writing part as such during mains preparation. So that is what I changed in my next three attempts as such.
Bharat, what about you? When did you decide to appear in this exam?
Sir, I passed out in 2014. Then I met my cousin. He was also preparing for civil services, sir. So I took his guidance and started preparing. And I went to Delhi. There I met Rishan, sir. Currently is IPS. So he guided me excellently, sir, for prelims. So that was helpful. But since I had my optional as geography, he couldn't guide me for that. But because of my options as geography, I was not able to clear mains in my second, third, and fourth attempt. So in my fifth attempt, I could clear, sir. So I took geography. So they helped me, sir, a lot in clearing. And for main, sir, in my second and third attempts, I did not do much of answer writing. My fourth attempt, I could get hold of answer sheets of Anudeep Durushetty, sir, rank 2017 batch, and Dr. Akash, sir, like he's Karnataka IAS officer. So I took their answer sheets and I just emulated their answers only, sir. So that helped a lot, sir. And for essay, I took the answer sheets of Somesh Sharma, the ranked 9, sir. Somesh Sharma ma'am's answer and Anudeep Durshetty's essay answers, sir. It was excellent, sir. I basically emulated their answers in my answer writing model, sir. So
So
that helped a
basically,
lot,
it
sir.
is not about the knowledge that you gain. It's also
No, sir.
about how you apply whatever information you have gathered.
Yes,
True,
sir.
sir.
It's
Yes, sir.
true, sir. Yes, sir.
So what do you tell the aspirants who are preparing for this exam and you have been guiding them? What do you tell them?
Sir, don't go too much behind the knowledge, sir. So basically, it's all about in mains. It's all about answer writing, presentation, and structuring is very important, sir.
But first, they have
So
to clear the prelims.
yes, sir. Even for prelims, they just need to focus on the 5 core subjects, sir. That is polity, environment, modern history, economy, and geography in the same order, because the weightage is in the same order. And once they are thorough with these 5 subjects, then they can take up other subjects like art and culture, ancient, medieval, and other things. These are trivial subjects. Any individual aspirants can easily clear the exam with these 5 subjects and with a basic idea of current affairs, sir. So that would be helpful, sir. And for mains, it's all about optional essay and ethics. Once they are thorough with these subjects, then they should go with GS3, GS1, and GS2 in the same order. So because this is where they can score more marks.
Ayush, what about current affairs? UPSC is unpredictable. If you look
Yes,
at
sir.
this year's question paper, hardly anything from what we can call current affairs.
Current affair.
So
Yes, sir.
sometimes it is flooded with current affairs, sometimes nothing. So UPSC springs these surprises. How do we manage current affairs for prelims as well as mains?
Sir, current affairs as such, what UPSC this time asked was mostly related to general awareness. That a lot of things were in news. For example, sugarcane issue was in news. Then the elephant issue was in news. Lot of issues were related to wildlife sanctuaries, national parks. So what we need to is that to have an open mind. Don't only read what is there in the newspaper. Just try to search something extra. Just have a curiosity. Not you don't have to go too much in details. Just have curiosity that what is happening as such. So what students usually do is that
Syllabus also plays a very important role.
yes, sir.
Syllabus tells us
Yes, sir.
questions on general science that do not require subject specialization.
Yes, sir.
So you don't have to be a master of that subject.
Yes, sir. You just
As you
need to
said,
have
just
basic
an open
information.
mind.
Yes, sir. You just have to have an open mind because a lot of issues were there in news. UPSC simply asked those questions from a general person's perspective as such, not what we used to read in our books or what is there in the newspaper simply. So that is one thing that need to understand. And sir, in mains, I think we have to go through like issue based as such. What is there in the issue? We need to understand the issue, its pros, cons, that what are the how it can affect us. Then what are the way forward. We have to go in that manner. It's not about information as such, but have a basic understanding about the issue in mains.
What would you
So,
recommend? Making notes of the newspaper?
sir, it totally depends. For working professional, it would be very difficult for them to make notes and to follow newspaper on a regular basis. For BYJU'S already are providing a lot of current affair materials. The CNAs, DNAs are there, so they can follow those things as such, and they can incorporate those things into their notes in a way. However, if a student is preparing full time, they can go for newspaper reading. But if they are making notes, they have to ensure that they are revising that thing properly, because many times students are focusing only on making notes. They are not revising it on a regular basis.
Is as good as you have not read the newspaper.
Yes, sir. Same, sir. Yes.
What about you, Bharath? What would you recommend? Making notes of the newspaper or just taking the compilations of various institutes?
Sir, compilations would be good, sir, but on regular basis, if you watch videos like CNE and any newspaper analysis videos, that would be helpful, sir. So that will help us in having a brief idea about the issue, and by the end of the month, we'll get the compilation. So that will help us in memorizing things. Basically, CNA should be used as a instrument which helps us in understanding things, and the compilation, monthly compilation, will help us in memorizing. The memorizing part will help us in answer writing, sir.
Ayush, did you also struggle between managing your job and preparation for this exam? How did you strike a balance between the two?
So initially, I did because it was difficult for me to manage. But once you get to know that what kind of job you're doing, and so fortunately, the field in where I was, is all related to UPSC only. So whenever so I used to take time early in the morning. My shift starts from 11 a.m. So I used to take time early in the morning, 2 to 3 hours during lunch period. So I used to use digital content. So I used to listen videos. I used to read PDFs. So it was easy for me to read all those things. And after my shifts gets over, then I used to again go read 2 to 3 hours as such. So overall, I used to manage 5 to 6 hours on a daily basis. And on weekends, whenever I used to get my leave week offs, I used to get give extra times, 12 to 14 hours on that day as such.
So you don't have to
So sir,
study
it's all
24 hours.
about yeah, it's not necessary as such, sir.
It's not even
5 to 6 hours quality study, it's not possible, sir. And in my first attempt, I went for 18 hours study, and I realized that it's not at all required. So I know that from experience that nothing like 12 hours is I think it's kind of an upper limit as such. If one can, because what we need is a quality study. Efficiency is like after 5 to 6 hours, once efficiency goes down as such. So we are just like just sitting in front of books, but not able to recall or
and
recollect
imagining
anything.
what you will do
So
at
I
your
think, sir,
convenience.
exactly, sir. Yes, sir.
What about you, Bharat? How did you strike the balance between your work and preparation?
Sir, early morning I used to watch any current affairs news analysis, sir, especially your news analysis, so that it would help me in clearing current affairs doubts for the students. And also I used to read newspaper in the morning. And then say in between, whenever I used to get break, I used to see some, since my option was geography, I used to see some atlas or some geography related news in down to earth and those things, because geography paper 2 is mainly related with current affairs. So I used to do that. And after my shift gets over, I used to get some time and mainly read ethics or practice some essays. And in weekends, it used to be optional, studying optional. So basically, my preparation was mainly revolving around optional essay and ethics only. So since GS2 could be taken care of during this prelims to mains period, so other things like optional essay ethics I was focusing on. So.
If we look at optional subject, Ayush, anthropology, it's been doing very good over the past few years.
Yes, sir.
But the trend may also change.
Yes,
What is it in anthropology that makes it a very scoring subject? And would you recommend optional as anthropology to an aspirant? But what should be the important criteria that an aspirant should keep in mind before opting for anthropology? Because anybody and everybody cannot be opting for anthropology. There has to be some
yes, sir.
requirement.
Yes,
What
sir.
are those requirements?
Sir, it's definitely a good option. It's very concise, very small option in a way that, as compared to geography, especially, and other subjects. So one should take optional as per interest. First thing is that interest should matter. That whether you're able to read the books or not. And second thing, sir, in anthropology, though the concepts are very easy if one can understand the, but we have to learn a lot of things, the books names, tribes names. So one should have that capability as such to just mug up. There is a lot of mugging up as such, because one can get to 20 to 30 easily in anthropology, but to get to 300 to 70 to 80, one need to learn a lot of names as such. So that is there. And there's misconception about anthropology, that is that it's lot about biology. That lot of students that think that it's not. It's very easy. It's like class 11, 12th level biology that we have to study either way in our prelims or mains as such in paper 3. So I don't think, sir, it's as such any special requirement for taking up anthropology. One should just read class 11, 12th SCRT Kerala books are there. Just go read books. If you think that it's interesting, you can take that optional. But sir,
If
again,
you're good at rote learning, go for anthropology.
it's a kind of rote learning, but there are few areas where you need to do rote learning as such, just to boost your marks.
Bharat, honestly, would you recommend geography as an optional to somebody?
Sir, if they have geography as a background, say, then I would recommend, sir. But if they are more interested in geography, I would recommend, sir. Otherwise, I wouldn't. Probably I would ask them to take either PSIR or Anthro, maybe like that, sir.
Why not geography?
Okay.
Is it too vast, too technical, too difficult?
Sir, it's a bit vast, sir. But however, it overlaps with GS syllabus. We can take the advantages in GS portion, sir. Say in GS1 and GS3. So apart from that, paper 1 is a bit vaster. Mainly the physical geography is a bit vast, and the perspective, that is a geographical thoughts, it's a bit technical, sir. Complicated. Yeah, it's complicated. But geography paper 2, it's easy, sir. It's possible to score around 170, 180 in geography paper 2. But in paper 1, getting say 130 or 130 and above becomes very difficult, sir, in paper 1. So that's why it's very difficult.
I want both of you to answer one very important question that aspirants normally ask. While choosing an optional, should we also look at whether this optional is going to help me in GS, or should we take optional as a standalone subject with 500 marks?
Sir, it totally depends, because suppose, sir, there's maths, someone is from maths background. Maths is not going to help us in GS preparation as such. But if someone is good in maths, sir, in GS preparation, especially mains preparation, but if someone is very good in maths, let's say, sir, last year rank 1 was there. He scored 360 something marks, but he got average marks in GS preparation. But it helped me in getting rank 1 as such. So, sir, it totally depends on person's background also, interest also, and accordingly one should decide. Sir, as Bharath told that geography, it does help in GS preparation, but it may not help in scoring good marks. So, sir, it totally depends as such.
Bharath, what's your take?
So that's what, sir. If you take geography, then probably the maximum score we can get is say 300 in geography. But the additional marks, say another 20-30 marks, can be offsetted from GS1 and GS3 portions of geography, where a geography optional student can only write such questions. Say there are many cryosphere. One question came on cryosphere. I don't think so any GS student could answer that question. Only geography optional student. So in those kind of question, we can get some additional more marks compared to the non-geography optional students. Yeah, that marks we can offset it, sir. So yeah, it's a balance between the both, sir.
So basically, the takeaway would be choose an optional based on your interest.
Interest, yes,
plus, if it is going to help you in your GS, that's an add-on. But don't specifically take an optional because it will help you in your GS.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Great. What about your interview preparation? Did you specifically prepare for it, or?
Yes, sir. We do prepare for it as such, because I last time also I went for interview, but I got less marks as such in 150s. So this time I was very conscious about it. So I started preparing for it, and this time I hardly got I think 21 days for interview preparation as such. So I do watch your videos also. So for DNAs, for following the basic current affairs related issues, and sir, I did join like mock interviews to prepare for it as such.
So it does require special guidance, assistance before you go for the...
Yeah, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, to like point out your mistakes, especially that what mistakes you are committing, how you can improve those mistakes. You need to be told, because interview is something that like it's a conversation, it's an interaction. So we don't realize how we are, what our expressions are, how we are behaving in front of others. So someone should be able to tell you that you are doing this thing wrong. So I think in that area, mock interviews and preparation helps.
Do you recall any question specifically asked in your real interview by UPSC?
Yes, sir. Interview, especially, it was related to euthanasia. So one ma'am was there. So she asked me why we are going for euthanasia as such, like passive euthanasia, why we are allowing it, and why other countries are allowing it, especially in South American countries. So I said, by mistakenly I answered that, ma'am, because of cultural differences. So then she pointed out that what is wrong with our culture as such. Then just it was like I was able to mold my answer. Then I told that, ma'am, it shouldn't be happening as per our culture as such. So that is something I think boosted my marks, because they were impressed. I pointed out our culture, that it is all about like respecting our parents, elders, and we shouldn't be. We have culture of treating patients. We are not in a culture of killing patients as such. We used to like. So in a way that I think helped me in scoring good marks in interview. Still marks are not out, but I think it would have helped me.
Any other question that you can recall?
Sir, yeah, one more was there. 5 trillion economy was there, related to 5 trillion economy. And one question was tax terrorism. So sir was asking what is tax terrorism. I simply explained what is tax terrorism. Then he's pointed out that why it is happening. Our IRS officers are to be blamed as such. So I thought he was from IRS background. So I simply asked, told that, sir, it's not IRS officers. I think it's a process that should be blamed, because if the process is complicated, so they can't do anything else.
So you were being diplomatic.
In a way, I was diplomatic.
Bharath, any questions that come to your mind?
Sir, my interview was mainly analytical based, sir. It was Bonsley sir's board. So every question was analytical. So for first question they asked do we need freedom of expression? So that was analytical. And second question, probably second question was, do we need to build dams by destroying the forest? So that was analytical. And most of the questions were analytical, and the interview panel were not giving any expression. So I was answering them. So, and they were not giving any expression. I couldn't even gauge whether what I'm telling is right or wrong. So they were just going on asking only analytical questions. Sir. There was hardly any factual questions. So it went like that, sir. Great. And most of the questions were based on DAF, and at least 3-4 questions were based on Bangalore only, sir.
Okay, great. Sir. One by one, both of you, all those who are watching you now, aspirants who don't know how to start their preparation, who are lost. Every Tom, Dick and Harry, if I can use that cliche, recommends any kind of strategy, which may not always work. But I think both of you are the best mentors who can guide the student honestly. What would you tell an aspirant who is preparing now, what it takes to clear this exam in one attempt?
Sir, first thing is that trust, have a guidance. First thing is that guidance is very, very important. Don't run for resources, because even while mentoring also, I used to see students, they're more into resources. I'm not getting this thing, that thing, rather than whatever they are having. And trust the process, trust the mentors, that whosoever is guiding, whose material you're using. Trust that material, because I've seen that students, they're saying that what I'm reading, if they won't find a single issue in that thing, they will start jumping on some other content. So they keep on jumping. So what I would suggest is that limit your resources, follow the guidance, trust the system, the material that you're using. And again, sir, regarding toppers, the guidance that I told, that as such, there are a lot of strategies. People used to give strategies. So I would say, don't try to follow everyone's strategy. Try to look what your background is. Everyone's different people are from different backgrounds, and some may be good in history. He may not tell you to read history as such. So someone may be good in polity. So one should be following as per one's own needs, rather than simply just following the toppers guidance as such. So in a way, sir, I would suggest limit your resources and follow the approach that you are already giving students.
So basically, limit your resources.
Yes, sir.
Plus also introspect.
Definitely, sir. It's very important.
Strategy for you may be different for someone else.
Yes, sir.
You have to look at what suits your requirement.
Yes, sir.
Bharath, what would you tell aspirants?
Sir, the basic thing is they should, as Ayush told, we should limit our resources, sir. For prelims, I think any student should just follow 5 subjects. That's polity, environment, modern history, economy, and geography. Once they're done with this, let them go to the mains preparation. They should need to follow optional essay and ethics. For this, sir, they have to blindly go by the topper's answer copies. Take up any topper's answer copy and see whether they can implement that structure. For example, if you take Tina Davis ma'am, probably I would, even if you give me one lifetime, probably I cannot implement her model of answer. It's beyond excellence. Take up topper's answer copy and then try to emulate the same thing, because they already got the rank. So try to emulate the same thing and see their keywords and how they're writing, and try to follow the same thing, especially for essay and ethics. And even for GS3, I think GS1, 2, 3, they should focus more on structure and presentation. Content will come later on. Once a structure and presentation is good, teacher will read it. It's not that you will write in a big paras. I'll not be interested to read it. No? So let them learn how to write in a proper structure and presentation manner. For that, they can take the help of topper's copy. I think the best topper's copy is Anudeep sir's rank 1. So let them take that copy and see his structure and presentation. Don't worry about his content. His content is above average only. It's not excellent, very excellent, but his structure and presentation is awesome. So let them follow that one. And for options, I think they have to take any topper's answers copy and learn from that and try to implement those strategies. So even mains answer writing, even for ethics also, their preparation will start the day once they start their answer writing. So let them read it, like say 15-20 days, let them read. And once they start their exact answer writing, let us call that day as their first day of preparation for mains. Even for prelims, once they start their mock test, let us call from that day that they are actually starting the prelims preparation. So for prelims, I think solving more number of mocks is important. For mains, writing more number of answers is very important. So
Great. I think both of you have touched almost all the aspects.
Sir, one more thing is there in anthropology, optional as such. What I've seen is that students again go for resources a lot. So what I would suggest for anthropology is to make 300 or 400 words notes for each and every topic. Especially if they can go for Sachin Gupta sir was there, rank 3, and 45th ranker was there, Lakshmi ma'am. If they can go through their copies, they would see that they've made a 400 pages notes, 400 words notes, and they're incorporating same thing every time in their answers, same answers they're writing every time. So in a way, they're kind of internalizing those things. So what I would suggest is that don't go for resources, just take a topic, write down their own notes in 200, 300 words, and try to follow those like revise those notes consistently basis, and try to write the same thing in their test series.
Great. Thank you both of you for joining us, taking your time and helping and guiding the aspirants. But I won't leave you unless and until you tell me about your experiences while working at BYJU'S. Just briefly.
Thank you, sir. So it was really nice experience, especially and the mentorship. It helped me a lot, especially clearing also in my state PCS exam. So the kind of question students used to ask, I was having the same kind of question they were asking. The interview panel was asking. So it was kind of a unique experience for me. And again, the team, the faculty, everyone. I think it was really nice experience, sir.
Great, Bharath.
Sir, it was actually a wonderful experience in working in BYJU'S. I worked in both in offline mode as well as in online mode, like that's work from home. So it was wonderful experience, sir. I used to learn a lot from my peer mentors and as well as from the students. So it was a very good experience, sir.
Thank you both of you for joining us, and have a great life ahead.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thanks a lot, sir.